I can't believe it's over. It's it's really over. Unless there's a sequel in the making. But if it'll end up like Nocturne, then maybe 2 seasons of utter perfection are enough. Anyway, Arcane has ended on a hopeful note with the majority of my favorite characters dead. But before I get to the sad parts, I want to start with the boy savior, cause I did like seeing a version of Arcane where things didn't go to shit and that Echo got to experience it for a short while. With Benzo still alive and Milo, Kliger and Vander as well, and not just that, Jinx, or more like Powder, is there with them, and she's not only not a murderous psychopath, but also she's dating Echo. Ooh. The only downside to this universe is that Vi ended up dying during the robbery from the magic crystal's explosion, so Powder took her place as the team's leader. But Heimerdinger, the one we know, is there with him, and he's been there for 3 years actually, and since there is no Hextech in that universe, that was likely banned after Vi's death, and does that mean Jace went and, you know...
Oh my god! Oh Jesus!
Or maybe he ran away with Victor and got married and lived happily ever after. But anyway, there is no Hextech, so Echo decided to make one himself. So he gathered fragments of that magic crystal and asked Heimerdinger to help him use them so they could go home. He was reluctant at first cause, again, he spent 3 years in this universe, he pretty much settled there, and things could go badly again, but he relented anyway.
No glass nozzles. How could I forsake a brilliant lad in need?
I love this rat so much. And he also asked Powder for help as well, and apparently Echo from that universe regularly asks her for help with his projects, and I think it's cute, cause now that they don't have to worry about surviving, they can focus on things they want to do, and their relationship. But anyway, they start working on their version of Hextech, and they ended up making a time loop that can go back in time by only 4 seconds, otherwise... Yeah. Heimerdinger then decides to improve it and tells Echo to enjoy the party and the little time they have left in this universe, cause I think he knows he likes her. And then comes the dance scene and I absolutely love it, especially since I love the fact they had a crush on each other before everything, but I still thought that even though Echo hates Jinx, he still loves Powder, so I always felt like I was robbed of something great. And I was right. They're just so perfect together. And the song that was playing in the background was, first of all, a bop. I think it's called Ma Meilleure Ennemie, and it's perfect for Echo and Jinx, with lyrics like, "You're the best thing that happened to me, but also the worst," and "Be close to your dearest friends, but also closer to your enemies." It's really meant for them. And I love French songs, so I'm adding it to my playlist. And the moment they shared later was adorable, and they also kissed. Yay! But then Heimerdinger finished the device, so they had to leave. But there were some complications, so he went to fix things, and he ended up dying from the explosion. You have no idea how mad I was about it, but since there is a chance he could still be alive, I'll let it slide. But in the meantime, R.I.P. Professor. But before I move on, I want to say that Silco is alive in that universe, and I think it's because he found the letter Vander left him a while before Vi died, because his eye doesn't look like he regularly injects shimmer directly to it. And Zon and Piltover seem to be united in a way, possibly due to the collective effort of Vander, Silco and Powder to make things better for them. But anyway, I guess I have to talk about the sad stuff. First we have Victor, who's determined to end human suffering by ending humanity, of course. How did he come up with that conclusion? And it's also safe to say that Victor is no more, and Jace knew that when he killed him. Singed and Ambissa are there with him to help because he promised to evolve people, but they don't know what that actually looks like, unlike Jace, who's hell-bent on stopping the future he saw from happening. So they had to evacuate civilians from both Zon and Piltover and prepare anyone who volunteered to fight. Though Savika and Scar weren't so enthusiastic about fighting alongside them, and who can blame them really? But it's not like it would have mattered anyway, cause Ambessa's attack was just a diversion, and Victor managed to get to the Hex Gates and Jace. So let's discuss what happened au milieu de l'espace. Victor wanted to bring everyone to this universe because everyone wants a better life, but they're too blinded by their emotions to realize that what he's doing is for their benefit. And Jace told him about his illness and his leg and that his imperfections made him special. You know what? This is in character for Jace. He's naive enough to say something like that about his disability, so I shouldn't be surprised. And that didn't matter anyway, cause Echo wasn't trapped by Victor, so he threw his time device on him and caused some damages to his mask and revealed his actual face. And if not for him, Jace wouldn't have been able to get to Victor and show him the time paradox thing. So he's the one who saved the world, not Jace, especially since they're all in this mess because of him. Or maybe not him, cause again, this is all a time paradox. It was Victor from the future who saved Jace and gave him the crystal so he would pursue magic. But that does not make him entirely innocent, but I think he deserves his own video for that. Anyway, Victor made him pursue magic so that he can stop him from erasing all humans before it's too late, cause he regretted doing that. And by showing him all of that, he made him change his mind about his big plan. And Jace helped him turn everyone back to normal, but there is no sign of either of them, so it's safe to say that they died. Without even kissing. R.I.P. you lovebirds. And now I guess I'll talk about Jinx, who was arrested by Caitlyn cause she surrendered, I guess. And she's also really depressed after Isha's death and lost her will to live entirely. But despite this, Kate still wants to keep her locked up.
We can't erase our mistakes. None of us.
Yeah, but your mistake is fascism. It's not exactly comparable. Vi then breaks her out, but she locked her in that cell and went to... Maybe death is like falling asleep. But Echo stopped her after a few tries and then convinced her to go to fight Ambessa on a hot air balloon with him and the Firelights and the rest of Zone. It was incredible. I loved it so much, I almost jumped from my seat. But then Vander showed up, or I guess he's more like Warwick now because Singed erased every trace of Vander in him anyway. So he tried to kill them. And Jinx ended up sacrificing herself to save Vi, cause Warwick would have made them all fall anyway. And then she blows herself up along with him. Now people say there is a chance she's still alive, cause even Caitlyn suspects that, and I do think it's possible, but in Warwick's case, I don't think it matters, cause again, Vander is gone, so it'll be useless anyway. Now to Mel and Ambessa, we find out that Mel can do magic, and the mage that kidnapped her wants them to join forces against her mother. Guess I was right the first time. Mel, however, isn't very thrilled about that, but she doesn't really have a choice. So she talks to her first and finds that there is no stopping Ambessa, cause she doesn't just want revenge for the murder of her son, but to eliminate the Rose completely, cause they're too powerful to let them live, I guess. And that's why she needs Victor's help. Mel later ended up confronting her with Caitlyn, whom she saved from Maddie's betrayal. You know, when they made out in the dungeon, I completely forgot about her until Kate mentioned her. But anyway, they fought and barely managed to defeat her, with Kate losing her eye in the process. And Mel sent her to the Rose and then ended up killing them before they killed her mother, likely to avenge her brother. But she was too late anyway and Ambessa died, and Mel took her place as the ruler of Noxus.
You'd give me a throne.
I will give you the world, child, if you prove you can take it.
And I can't feel bad about it cause, come on, she started a fucking war. But I'm not happy about it either. And we also have Singed, who managed to bring his daughter back to life, so good for him, question mark? And yeah, Loris died in the battle. This show killed every character I cared about, except Echo. It should be advertised like Arcane, don't get attached to anyone cause we will kill them. Anyway, they held a ceremony to mourn their dead, with Echo doing the same for Jinx alone, and Civica actually gained a seat at the council in Piltover, suggesting that Piltover and Zon are now united, but the looks that the rich pricks gave her suggest that they have a long way before they reach true unity. And then we have Vi singing the same song that Powder was singing in the first episode, about a poor guy begging his rich friend across the river for something he can spare. So maybe things aren't good yet, but they will be, eventually. And now Arcane has officially ended. And what a journey it was. Seriously, Arcane is a work of art. And I prefer that we don't get a sequel or something, cause I get that it wasn't exactly a happy ending, but it was still good, and it ended on a hopeful note. And this is still better than having this masterpiece ruined by corporate greed. So I'm really happy with what we've got. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.